I can't resist, man. I'm watching some of my chat over here, and we were talking about the whole uncle thing, and you thought that was your uncle. They're like, Detective Mallory is Bernie's uncle.
And here we go.
Welcome to the freak show, the best in town.
What's up, DA? How you doing, man?
What's going on?
You're back. You made it home in one piece.
Yeah, I went to New York, boy, and I came back an effing man. I'll tell you that much. I did a lot there.
You were there for how long?
5 days on the road, and then a travel day both ways. So it was a week, but 5 days in New York.
That's awesome. I've never been out there.
Really?
No.
I was stone cold scared shitless walking into New York, and I had to take. There was a lot of brave moments in my life, and I did shit. I'm telling you, I'm not kidding, man. I went in a boy, I came out a man. I did shit I didn't even think I was capable of doing. I came out there with cock swagger, like full on cock swagger. I'm like, yeah, bitch. I just
did you cross the street without the crosswalk signal?
Right in front of cops. There was two NYPD, and I just jaywalked right in front of their ass. I'm like, I'm going. I don't care. I'm going. Write me a citation.
I was telling people on Monday that I called you, and you were like, the wind is gushing by your ears. You're like, I gotta pull over. And then I just hear, fuck. Then I hear a loud, like somebody honks at you.
That was straight up true. I
know.
I took the call, like dumped the bike, trying to talk to him, hitting the brakes one-handed, and a truck's like, you fucking tourists, get out of the road. And that was me. It was amazing. I did have one New Yorker cuss me out, and she used quite a few F-bombs. That was awesome.
But did you say she was a homeless lady?
Yeah, I think so. It was homeless for drugs, but she was straight up chewing me out, and I'm like, I have made it. I'm in New York, and someone's calling me a mother effer, and I'm talking to you. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was a great moment. It was a great moment. I felt that made it complete.
You really did, and God damn it, Detective Maury, you son of a bitch. I can't ignore this. I just can't ignore this.
Him and your mom.
And my wife goes, Detective, you never fail to make me puke a little bit in my mouth.
I didn't know how to use an e-bike. I wanted to have the experience of Luigi Mangione on an e-bike going from the hostel. So I did go to the hostel where Luigi Mangione was staying, and I rode an e-bike back to Central Park. I wanted to know what that experience was like, and so I did that. But I'd never ridden an e-bike before. And so I expected them to be like e-bike assistants. You'd get pedaling assistance. That didn't happen. That's because I was stealing the bike. When I finally figured that out, it's a pretty good moment. So go ahead and roll it. I think that's enough setup to at least kind of get it. And hopefully you have audio on it. Again, this is fucking a nightmare. Bike not available. After all of that, it said bike not available. Fuck it, I'm just walking. This is ridiculous. Unlocking. I walked away from the bike, and now it's unlocking the bike. I just fucking. Are you kidding my phone, me? Now my phone tells me it's unlocked the bike. That's not right. This is where I fucked up. I think I grabbed the wrong bike. It unlocked the bike, but I grabbed somebody else's bike. So now I don't even know which one it was. If you don't realize how stupid I feel right now. I lost something out of my pocket. Wow. God damn it. Just lost my hat in the wind. I'm hooking it. I'm going downhill like that motherfucker. There's an alarm going off. Either that, it's just the E. Yep, no, it's locking the bike on it. I can't even get moving because there's bikes that are. Oh my God, Rhonda. Yes, but now I have E assistance. The entire time, all of a sudden I start pedaling, and I'm like, oh my God, it's pedaling for me. It wasn't doing that for the last fucking half hour, so apparently I stole the bike, and now I'm getting assistance.
Thank you for sharing that video. That was comedy gold. And you probably didn't even know what you had at that point. We need to raise money to just send you to places just to go record yourself with a cat cam. That's what we need. Outside of like the mainland of the US, including Hawaii and Alaska, where are you going to go to investigate something, or where would you want to see and experience?
Oh my gosh, outside of the US, I mean, Egypt would be amazing. Israel would be amazing. That's like way out of the US. But yeah, Mexico wouldn't be too bad. I would, but that's kind of close to our neighborhood. But I'd go anywhere, man. I'd go anywhere.
Yeah. My dad used to do this thing. It was like NORAD. You could like track where Santa was, and it would play like these animated videos of where his sleigh was over as a kid. And my favorite scene was when he was over the Taj Mahal. And I've even into my adult years, I've been like, I would always just from a childhood memory, and obviously I've lost I would just love to go see like the Taj Mahal. I know it's over in like Russia and stuff, but I would just, that place looks incredible. It's just the architecture, the colors and all that. I'm a big nerd for like old world architecture too. Hey, guy, there's no way. Taj Mahal is India?
Yeah.
Why the hell did I just say Russia? I can't admit this on stream.
It's too late.
I can't admit this on stream. Oh my God, dude. They look similar, right? To some Russian buildings, maybe?
Maybe.
Holy hell. My whole life's been a lie.
I did. Yeah, I know what that's.
How did I just not even learn that in general? I think it's just like I've literally just assumed it. I've never looked into it. Taj Mahal's in Russia. Why?
It's
a childhood memory I've cherished my whole life, and it's a lie.
Yeah, and you probably thought somebody was your uncle too, but he really wasn't your uncle. So. I can't resist, man. I'm watching some of my chat over here, and we were talking about the whole uncle thing, and you thought that was your uncle. They're like, Detective Mallory is Bertie's uncle. No. Like, I don't want to, take the whole show about New York, but I will tell you this. I had this perception about New York that was completely wrong.
That's funny, man. You got any other trips coming up?
My mind is so messed with everything. I almost forgot. Yeah, I'm going to Moscow and Pullman, spend a couple days down there. We're going to walk around and put some boots in the ground there. And I thought to myself, if you and I just walk down the street, somebody there in Pullman is going to be like, oh my God, is that Bertie and DA literally walking down the street of Moscow, Idaho? Like, I feel like somebody would recognize this because they're probably up on the case and follow the case.
Bertie in 4K just gets.
I'll make you famous. It'll be amazing. I'll do it.
Dude, for God's sakes, have you seen these autopsy reports?
I heard about them. I haven't seen them, but I've heard about them. Yes. From what I understand, there was like a significant number of post-mortem wounds. So how does that factor into things? The big one that I heard that maybe you probably know way more than I do about it. The big one I heard was the FBI documents that indicate something to do with extortion and watching Kohberger since July. I'm trying to figure that shit out. I'm like, why did we have so much secrecy in this freaking case in the first place? I don't understand. If they knew who Kohberger was from months before, then what the hell is going on? Why all the secrecy?
I had Lana on the stream last night. She said, I believe that Nick Balanch, I can never say his name because of my lisp, but he filled that out and essentially was lying, saying that he was trying to look into Jack and people that could have been extorting the girls. That's how he labeled it. But my question then is, that's the worst idea ever in a lone wolf narrative. Why would he ever think he would get away with it? So I think it's a great take, but I do wonder, there's
extortion? The problem is if there's extortion involved, then how do you do there's no connection whatsoever between Brian Kohberger and the girls. We have no idea how he knew any of them or how he knew the house. How can all of that be true if there's any kind of extortion element to Brian Kohberger and anyone in that thing? Because they said they have no connection between him and anybody in the house, and they can't place him at the house, and they can't
Desi sums it up right here. If you want to read that, Desi's comment.
To me, you don't necessarily have to do a lot of digging into the case. It takes just common sense and pay attention to what's been said and to realize what the hell is going on in this case. Right. And so many people don't have common sense. I still have to deal with people who are like, you're an idiot. He pled guilty. Yeah, you're an idiot. You haven't watched this case. For 2.5 years, you haven't paid attention to this case. Sorry.
Dude, there are so many adults that just act like absolute psychos with this case. For example, there's people that disagree with what I say, with what you say, with what many others say, to the point where let's dox them. Let's do this. Oh, really? Because I think a police investigation wasn't done right. Let's do that. Let's cause hell for them. It's not like I'm out here. Am I out here being racist, or am I joining, a white supremacy group? Am I doing that? No, I'm simply looking at what the news is saying, and I go, I actually can detect the bullshit. Okay, so shut up. Crawl back into whatever hole you came out of, drink the tap water, watch your CNN and Fox News, and shut the hell up at this point. Just shut up. Right. Never come out of your cave again, you gremlin-looking monster.
I feel the anger, man.
I can't bite my tongue on it anymore because of my point that I started this little transition into talking about this about 5-10 minutes ago, which is, if you now disagree that there's not any weird stuff about this, or if you're still in the camp of Brian Kohberger is so guilty it's not even funny, at this point, you need to go take an IQ test. You really do. You need to actually, before we do that, let's hook you up to a lie detector test and let's see if you're lying. And if you're telling the truth, then we need to declare some sort of intervention with your close family and your close friends. Although then it's going to turn into this massive intervention because you're probably surrounded by a bunch of people that think just like you. So at that point, there's really not much we could do other than to just keep a close eye on you, make sure you don't get into these positions of power, and that you don't end up effing everybody over in that at the end of the day. Because it's people like that get into these positions of power because they play within the confines of the system. They drink the Kool-Aid so much. They're these people pleasers. They fail upward, and they're just continued to get rewarded and rewarded more with power and money and all these things. And then they go and they dick over the guys and the people in the hive like you and me. And then they get this big platform and they will shadow ban you and they will do all these things to you. They don't know anything other than I'm going to parrot this talking point. It's what's social. It's the norm. I can't get attacked for it. I'm righteous because I'm doing what everybody else is doing rather than thinking for myself. And I cannot stand it. Like the people that are going to come over into comments and all that shit, dude, I'm telling you this genuinely, DA. I don't care anymore. I haven't cared for a very long time because I trust my own brain. I trust the stream and the chat to, okay, I just fucking thought the Taj Mahal was in Russia for 18 years of my life. And I just watched myself get embarrassed like an idiot. And you know what I did? I admit it.
Own it. You own it. You just own it. You're like, oh yeah.
My childhood memory is gone. Yeah. Okay. I got to go to India. And now it is what it is. You know what? Maybe it'll be just as spectacular. Probably not because of my mind. But you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. People can't admit they're wrong, bro.
And you're right. And I think people kick us in the teeth all the time if we get the smallest detail wrong, you know. And like, not to side tangent a million things, but I was reading a police document, and all they said in an MPD police document was so and so went and studied at the Albertsons building together. And I was like, that's weird, because I'm thinking Albertsons the grocery store, and I'm like, the Albertsons. Turns out I got my nuts busted by about 100 people. Oh my god, you effing idiot! The Albertsons building is a building on campus owned by the Albertsons family, who by the way owns the Albertsons food chain, so it wasn't that far of a stretch. But they're kicking me in the teeth like, you're an idiot. Why don't you do some research before you open your mouth? And I'm like, I literally just said that's an interesting thing. And I said, is that the grocery store? It was a question, and I got my teeth kicked. You need to do some research before you open your mouth. And I'm like, never mind. I'm not going to go there.
One of the things that probably makes me sound like a psycho, and I don't know if it's like just from playing like physical contact sports, and I'm not trying to sound like a meathead, but at a certain point you got to kind of lean into it. I played football my entire life until I was, 21, 22. And it was like when I stopped, I'm like, this sounds really psychotic, but I'm craving this like violent physical.
I want to hit somebody.
Let's go. Yeah. Because, and at the same time though, the reason why I say that is if you've ever played football or if you've ever played a contact sport, like when you light somebody up, it is the best feeling in the world. There is nothing better than running through someone's face and coming out their ass. It is the best feeling. When on the other side, like when you get got, it's the worst feeling. There is nothing worse. It's inevitable when you get to a certain level, you're going to get lit up. And when it happens, it sucks.
As a side, I do love a good collision. There used to be a commercial. Do you remember the Terry Tate office linebacker?
I love that video.
The guy be drinking his coffee and like, boom, and he knocked him off his ass. And he's like running like a little girl. No, dude, I used to love every time he'd do one of those big hits. I'd be like, oh, that feels good. That would be so fun. And
yes,
it's good shit.
Yes, so I make that analogy, right? Yeah. Because are people going to be able to get me on a technicality? Right. Yeah. I stream for hours every night. Of course, there's probably something that I've said. Okay. Yeah, but that's also, keep in mind, documents are sealed. I've speculated for months on this because we can't see shit.
Yeah.
Now, and it's constantly changing. So it's not anything that I'm afraid of leaning into. I know that what I'm doing more times than not, like I said, is running through these normies' face and coming out their ass. But they'll get me on a technicality every now and again. Of course they will. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. That's life. That's the way of true. Like when you're really doing it live. This is a live show. That's what happens. I'm not sitting here editing these. Everything is shared on the screen. You guys are hearing my thoughts out loud, and it is what it is. Yeah. But also the important thing is that's where you have to, what I've told myself is there going to be things that you have to repeat or that you will end up repeating? Yes. Should you not say it because you have to repeat it? No. It's like you have to see and you have to hear something so many times before it clicks. So it's a part of the broader picture. Like, think about what the mainstream news does with us. How many times did we hear Brian Koberger did X, Y, and Z, or Luigi did X, Y, and Z, or whatever? It clicks. It becomes, right? You got to work twice as hard when you're on this side of the aisle and against the mainstream media when it comes to, we have to reverse this brainwashing. I actually think that it is a form of brainwashing, DA. I'm serious. These people need to be studied. Like, I think they need to be studied, and I don't know how you study them. Okay. Yeah. But it's like, I don't know how people's brains work in that way. it's not me saying anything bad should happen to them by any means, but it's just like, I really hope that you're never in charge of anything very important that requires critical thinking. Because if you do, we're so aft.
God help us. Yeah.
And in a way, there's a lot of people that are in these positions now. One of the things that I learned when I became an adult, DA, I don't know if you remember this, as you're kind of, you're going from high school, college age to where you're getting kind of your first real job, as people call it, right? Like, I had jobs in high school and shit, but I'm saying, like, now you're not going to school anymore. This is going to be a full-time thing.
Yeah.
You're gonna try to work your way up. I was shocked. Even as, when I look back at now that I'm, quote, an adult, I look back at these people that when I was a kid, I'm like, they have all the answers. And now, just at work, it's not even how they do their position necessarily. It's like their mannerisms. I'm like, oh my God, dude. Like, you're in charge of a $500 million company. I was doing like med device sales, like beds, stretchers, chairs. Did I tell you? Have I ever told you the story about my titties? I never felt so good. Have I told this story?
How could I have forgotten the story
Okay.
if you started like that? But no, I haven't heard that one. Yeah.
Wait, you really haven't?
No, I haven't heard it. I would remember that story for the rest of my life. Let's go.
Oh my God. Hang on. I want to ask the Hive. Has anybody in the Hive heard that my titties ain't felt so good story? I can't make this shit up. So my first job out of college, when I got hired, I just got my foot in the door at a medical device sales company, and my role was an associate. So this job did, honestly, it sucked. It was a grind, but it was about 18 months. You knew that it was like, you just had to put your time in, then you would get your own territory. So I did that, and I couldn't rent a car. So I had to drive all over from, at the time I was living in Milwaukee, I would go up to Detroit, over to Kentucky, out to Omaha, down to the bottom of Missouri. Okay. So like the true geographic Midwest, just miles. And I had to wear a suit and tie every day. I was in a hotel, I think like 239 days that year.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a lot. Lived in my parents' basement. Pretty much just went home to do dry cleaning with the suit and ties. So anyways, I was working in the south side of Chicago. And a lot of the things that the associates had to do at this time was night shift. So the reps would go out and they would sell and they would implement the day shift. And then they would have their associates come in and they would teach the night shift nurses. So usually I would spend a week in each rep's territory and I would just kind of rotate. Well, this particular week, the training was, like I said, in Chicago. So I go downtown, I park my car, and I walk into the hospital. This is the first night of education. I'm doing what's known as it's like a barrier cream cloth. So if you have an open wound kind of in like that area, like if you're in bed and you're in the ICU and it sits on there, it's like battery acid on your skin. So when you clean it up, it leaves like a protective barrier. So that was one of the products that we sold. Okay. Like we had like 20 that we would sell, but that one, and I actually enjoyed doing that product because the in-servicing, it's a wipe at the end of the day. It doesn't take a rocket scientist, but there's just certain things that you have to like let people know, like, hey, this product changed out. Here's why it looks this way. Here's what you can use it for. Here's what you can't. What kind of wounds. Very easy versus where, you have to go get an entire room and a bed, rent it out and wheel that around. So I thought this was going to be just a really easy, quiet night. So I walk in there and I give the in-service, and these nurses are just the best nurses ever. And night shift typically is, if it's a pretty easy night, like they're having a lot of like fun within, you know what I mean? As much fun as you can have. And so I go there on Monday, and this nurse kind of pulls me to the side after I get done. And she's like, hey, I have this lady who's overweight. She's in, room, whatever. She's like, she has skin breakdown underneath her breasts. She's like, can I use it on the breast? I know you said it's kind of for like incontinence cleanup, but like, since you said the barrier and it kind of disinfects, whatever, can I use that there? So I said, yeah, it's just, it's skin. That's totally fine. I've been asked that before. And so she's like, oh, okay, great. I'm going to give it a try. She's like, what day are you going to be back? I'm like, I'll be back Thursday. Didn't think anything of it. Okay. But I had walked over to the room, and actually the lady in the bed had seen me. And then I just, hey, how's it going? Like I don't know what to say. Right. So I leave. Well, dude, Thursday I go back, and the way that the floor and the unit was set up was when you got off the elevator and you walked onto the unit, it was like the second door to the right. And so if you're in the bed through the door and I'm standing at the nursing station, you can see me.
Yeah.
Okay. So she must have seen me, the lady in the bed, walk in, and about 2 seconds past her door, I hear this lady start going, nurse, nurse. Okay. So I stop, and I can see like two nurses that were doing charting, like look over at me. And she's just yelling. She goes, "Someone tell that man my titties ain't ever felt so good."
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I mean, dude, it should be like that should be that company's ad for the product. I mean,
Your
she
titties
was
will never feel this
elated.
good.
She was
Yeah.
elated, and I can imagine that is probably a very relieving feeling, you know. But like, dude,
Yeah.
it was so funny. Like she was, and she didn't stop yelling it. She just kept yelling it for.
I mean,
over
when
the
it's good, it's good.
yeah. So like, yeah.
Wow.
So that's my
That's
titties never
hilarious.
felt so
I
good.
mean, yeah, and context is everything. Like somebody who walks in at the wrong time on that is like, what the hell is that about? Like,
what is Birdie yelling about now?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we're gonna file a lawsuit on whatever he was doing in that room.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
but dude, like the other time, see, this is just now it's getting a little bit inappropriate, but this is the craziest shit I've ever seen.
It's getting a little inappropriate.
No, this is like,
all right.
Okay. So, dude, I had my boss with me for a ride along. Okay. So your manager has to come with you once a quarter. And
I love, by the way, as before you start, I love that you and I are on a computer and you're still lowering your voice like we're talking in a room together. Like, okay, dude. So what happened was like we're literally like we're in a crowded place and you got to keep it a little on the down low. Like we're being watched by maybe thousands of people and you're like, dude, hold on, dude.
I know.
All right, no, it's great. It makes you authentic. Let's do this.
Yeah. So, and at the time, my boss was very old school. Hence why I'm wearing a suit and tie still. Every other rep is wearing like the Cole Haan shoes with like Lululemon pants. They got just a polo. They're wearing scrubs. Like, no, I look like a jackass walking into a hospital in a suit and tie to talk about ass wipes. You know what I mean? Like, it was his thing. And in addition to that, and also that was the best boss I've ever had. Like, it was one of those things where I'm like, I'm so glad that my first boss taught me all these fundamentals. Right. And he stuck to it. So, anyways, he was very specific though about dress code. And then also when he would work with you. Okay. Here are some of the things that he required when he would work with you. He, quote, says, "I don't care if it's raining out. You're going to pick me up in a clean car. So take your car through the car wash. You're going to have a hanger for my jacket. You're going to have a couple bottles of water and a snack. There's going to be a folder sitting on the dashboard for me with an itinerary and then any of the clinical studies that I need for the day, along with your 12-month history of your numbers." Dude, to this day, I still, when I have somebody ride with me, I don't do the snacks and shit, but I do the folder, I do the coat hanger, I grab some water, and I do that. And it's a nice touch.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
So, okay. So I have him working with me. And one of the other things that he would say is, I should know how often you're in an account by if people recognize you when you're walking around the units. So, that's a good tell, right? Your customers should know who you are if you're really going into the hospitals and working.
Yeah.
Full transparency, I wouldn't wear a suit every day. Like, to put a suit and tie on at 2:30 in the morning to go talk to 18 people is just ridiculous. You know, so I thought it was. Yeah. So I would wear like, just a dress shirt and slacks. Dude, I picked the worst hospital I could have ever picked. I picked the hospital that I was like buddies with all these nurses because I'd spent the most time there. I didn't even put two together. They've never seen me in a suit there, probably.
Oh, yeah.
So now they see me in a suit. Like, the first lady that we see goes, "Oh, you're in a suit today." And I'm like, God damn it. Like, he knows that I'm not following the dress code. I heard it like 4 or 5 times.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So today you're in a suit?
Yeah. And they're like, "Oh, you clean up nice." And I'm like, oh man. All right. So anyways, we had to go down by the OR. This is where, again, if you have little kids, earmuffs, it's not that inappropriate. So we were doing like cold calls. So we go and like, knock on people's doors, introduce ourselves, all that stuff. And he kind of wants to see how, what's your approach to it? Are you doing it good? Are you kind of overcoming objections? All the classic manager stuff. And we go to this lady's office. When we walk by, we have to go by this like waiting area for people that are waiting to go into surgery. I still am so confused at this point as to why this gentleman was just in a hallway on a stretcher by himself. And I knew he was about to go into surgery. He had like the silver cap on, like the hairnet. He was in a gown. Yeah. And he looked like he was sedated or something. Like he was awake, but he kind of just looked loopy. And we see him, and he kind of like lifts his head up and like looks at us. Okay, that was on the way there. Okay. On the way back, when this lady doesn't answer her door, he's doing the slow stroke in the hallway. Okay?
Oh, no.
So we look over. We're like, oh my God. You can imagine. There's no way, A, that you expect to see that. B, I'm with my boss. I don't like, we're just like, and it's a long hallway. It takes a couple seconds to walk past this thing. Okay. So we see that we're laughing, not at him. Like we're past the hallway now. So we're laughing. This lady who was supposed to be in her office is now just coming back from lunch. So we see her. We're like, oh, hey, we were just at your office. So now we have to turn around and we have to go back past this hallway that we know what's waiting. It's a minefield.
Right.
Okay. I look at my boss. I look at my boss. And I go, do we say something? Like, what do we do? like, do we let this lady know? Like, as soon as we walk around the corner, she's in for a treat. Okay. Right. So he's like, no. He's like, no,
no. Let this play out. Let it, for God's sake, man, let it play out.
Right, dude. This isn't a matter of, by the time we had walked it the first time, we thought he was loopy. To the time we walked back, he was doing his thing. To the time we see this lady, it's under 2 minutes. You know what I mean? If you could picture like a hallway downstairs, like in a hospital. This guy's snoring. He's passed out now by the time we come back. I couldn't not laugh. This lady thought that I was a psycho. I was literally like wiping my eyes of tears going into this meeting. Like, I'm so sorry. And she goes, guys, like, tell me what happened. And my boss was just like, okay, it's very unprofessional, but we have to tell you what we saw. Dude, it was the funniest meeting I've ever had.
That is hilarious. That's
Mrs. Birdie goes, the old Jopo, the jerk off pass out.
Jerk off pass out. I didn't know that was a phrase, the Jopo.
The most awkward stuff always happens with the people that they just don't like you. Like I say this with 100%. I believe this. There are people that I've called on that if they saw me in the parking ramp late at night, they'd run me over their car. That's how annoying I've been. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I know that I've like just blown their doors off trying to get a meeting to the point where now I don't even send emails trying to set a meeting. I just start sending invites. I just start sending invites.
You're invited to come to this meeting.
Yeah. So, dude, this lady must have turned me down for no bullshit, like 6 or 7 months. She finally agrees. She's about 15 minutes late. I'm standing outside her office and we have these giant roller bags. Oh, okay. That's the second time this week that I've been caught with my mouth open right by this mic. It's terrible. Okay.
Where were we?
So this lady's 15 minutes late. I've been blowing her up for 6-7 months. She works at this VA. Finally agrees to meet with me, and we have these giant duffel bags that we have all of our products in, but they don't have smooth wheels. They have like rumble strip wheels. So it's like down the hallway. Like they know when we're there. Yeah. It's so loud. And so I have this thing with me and this lady's office is a closet. Like I couldn't even fit me and the bag in there. So now I'm leaving this like very suspicious looking black bag in a VA right by the elevator doors. Okay. I'm like, oh my God, like security is probably going to come or something like, but I go into this meeting as I sit down and I already know this lady, like I have a really good sense of like, I know this lady doesn't want to meet with me. All I'm really having this meeting for is for her to hopefully tell me somebody's name that doesn't hate my guts, that there might be a chance that I could sell something to.
Right.
The way that this lady's office was set up was so asinine. It was so dumb. And the office was so small. I go to sit down on the chair. And when I go to lean back, she's got bookshelves that are on those metal things. They're just, it's just a piece of wood. They're not even connected. They're just sitting on two like corner frames, like the 90-degree things. I smoked the back of my head. Bookshelf off the thing, falls down. I literally go, oh, fuck. Like, I'm literally like, I'm holding my head. I'm like checking my hand for blood.
Wow.
This lady doesn't have a soul. I'm convinced. She's staring at me like this. Her books are everywhere, disheveled. I'm bleeding slightly from the back of my head.
She can't even give you a courtesy laugh.
She didn't say if I'm okay. She just sat there like this. So then I started panicking and I played it cool. And I go, so I'm like, so tell me about your ceiling lifts.
Wow.
I mean, oh my God, it was terrible. That was one where I'm just like, this is going nowhere. The last one that I'll tell.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, I don't good. No, I said good. There's another story. I know it sounded like good. I meant good. There's another story. I know how that sounded. Yeah.
Dude. So, all right. I told you that first time with the work with. This was the worst work with I've ever had in my life. The worst thing. The fact that this all happened in a span of 48 hours. is just, I was being punished for something. Okay.
Yeah.
So this girl that I was dating in college for like 4 years, we broke up. She started cheating on me with some guy at Planet Fitness. Okay. I'm in a hotel 3 hours away with my boss. I'm colorblind. So I grab blue pants with a black jacket. So I have a mismatched suit. Okay. I'm just a mess. And I couldn't, like, you know what I say, like I couldn't eat. Like I was not hungry. I didn't want to do anything after the day. I just wanted to go into my hotel room. My boss, at this point I was new in the position. He's knocking on my hotel door and he's like, hey, he's like, do you want to go get B-dubs? So dude, I'm literally like in bed, like undressed at this point. So of course he probably hears all this shuffling around when the knock happens. So like, that's embarrassing. We go to B-dubs. He's like, what's wrong? He's like, what's wrong? Oh my God, nothing. You know, don't really tell him. Next day, I don't have my suit jacket on. He goes, where's your jacket? I go, I grabbed the mismatched color. He's like, well, I mean, and so he made this dude maybe wear a mismatched suit, like a hazing thing. So there was that. Oh shit. Where was that going? So then we go, no, damn it. Oh, so we go and we have a meeting. I have a demo. I have a product demo. This is my first product demo with my new boss with me. Okay. Yeah, somebody's like, from Planet Fitness. Yeah, I know. Okay,
Man,
whatever.
It's Planet Fitness. Fuck that guy.
It's great. I couldn't be happier with Mrs. Birdie. So it all works out, right? But long story short, I have a mismatched suit on. I'm doing my first product demo on a lift for ceiling lifts, right? So if you don't know what that is, patients that can't move, you put this piece of material underneath them. It hooks up to the ceiling, and you can lift them from the bed to the chair.
Yeah.
Okay, so
a Hoyer lift.
It's like a Hoyer lift. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's me and it's my boss, and then it's these two ladies that we're meeting with that are like safe patient handling. Well, I'm not going to have the people that I'm meeting with play patient and get into the bed. So my boss has to play patient, and they make him take his shoes off. Obviously, it's a clean bed, so they're like, don't just take your shoes off. You can play. Yep. So I do my demo. Okay. I'm so distracted, and my mind is just exactly on what I need to say for this pitch. I forgot that my boss for like 9-10 minutes is still hoisted up in the lift, sitting in an up back right position. He's slowly spinning back and forth with his socks, his striped socks out. And he's looking at me just like, he's like not saying anything. So then I like side eye. I'm like, I get distracted. I don't even address it because I'm so nervous. The ladies they're like, why isn't this guy getting his boss out of the Hoyer lift?
That's amazing.
So then the cherry on top, the cherry on top.
I love the visual of him just spinning there. Like, that's awesome.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So the visual or the cherry on top, dude, is so we walk out and I'm like, hey man, like I'm sorry about that. And he goes, no, it's fine. It's fine. He goes, how do you think it went? I go, they're not buying this. Like, that's what I say. So we walk to the parking ramp and we're talking. And at the time I just had a car. So we're kind of like talking like over the car as we get in.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I had set these like binders of clinical studies like that I had they didn't fit in my backpack. So I'd set them on the top of my car. We start driving out of the parking ramp and I hear this like, I look in the back. There are hundreds of papers scattering in the wind on the parking ramp. And my boss goes, what was that? And I go, nothing. I just left it.
Wow.
We're driving. We had about a 3-hour drive home.
Yeah.
Okay. So he starts calling his boss. So he's my manager. Then we have like the area director. Okay. He's taking a phone call with his boss. Well, he's on speakerphone. Okay. So he's not on my audio in my car, but he's on speakerphone, so I can still hear him. And my boss must have told his boss that I was being a little bitch about this breakup. Okay. So I have all this. Now I have to listen to where this guy, my boss's boss, doesn't know he's on speaker. Wow. And I have to now hear this. Okay. Wow. This is probably 4 days before Christmas. This asshole says, well, it looks like his ex is getting her stocking stuffed by someone else this year.
Oh my God, dude.